You know, a lot of people are saying tut tut to baseball lately, basically saying, oh, it's not like the past, there's no great games, there's no great names for contests. But whether you want to call this the Cleveland comeback or the miracle in Cleveland or the Yankee killer, Johnsky Noel, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I've covered baseball for 41 years. I really enjoyed that game last night, October 17, Cleveland and the Yankees. I'm not a big fan of the Yankees, although I'm a big fan of Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. And when they hit back-to-back home runs, I thought, hey, this game is done. But my God, ladies and gentlemen, what a comeback by Cleveland. Now, according to TSN, Johnsky Noel saved Cleveland's season. They were behind 2-0 in the series. But David Fry in a walk-off home run, and as the announcers said, the player to be named later hit a big 2-run home run. With two huge swings, the Guardians hit back at the big bad New York Yankees and tightened the AL Championship Series just about over. Noel or Newell connected for a 2-run pinch hit homer with 2 outs in the ninth inning, and Fry hit a 2-run shot in the 10th as Cleveland rallied past New York 7-5 Thursday night in an unforgettable Game 3 to pull the Guardians to 2-1 in a best-of-7 series. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a weird stat. They didn't show it. You know, like the old days, NBC or ABC said he has only had one home run and whatever, like Ozzie Smith logo. Johnsky Noel, I guess, had 16 pinch hit appearances during the season, and the only one to hit was a home run. But the swing was so powerful, it reminded me like an old Dave Kingman or Cecil Fielder. Now, Cleveland's unexpected season that included 92 wins in the AL Central title was on the brink after Aaron Judge hit a line drive 2-run homer to right field of all-star closer Emilio Clase, who only gave up a handful of earned runs in the regular season, has been terrible in the playoffs. And Giancarlo Stanton followed with a solo drive in the top of the 8th to give the Yankees a 4-3 lead. But Noel, a burly outfielder known as Big Christmas, delivered an October gift, and Fry followed with his second momentous homer in these playoffs. That's exactly who we are, first-year Guardians manager Stephen Vogt said. We never quit. We get punched in the teeth pretty hard there in the 8th, and our guys stepped up huge for the guy that carried us all year long. That was really fun to see. It was exhausting, thrilling, and dramatic as the Yankees and Guardians jammed a season worth of highlights into 3 innings. That was playoff baseball, Yankees manager Aaron Boone said. Both sides just kept coming with haymakers and big at-bats, big moments off of 2 really good bullpens. They outlasted us. They had one more good swing than us. That's part of it. We'll be ready to roll tomorrow. Game 4, of course, is tonight, October 18th. Now, the Guardians had trailed 5-3, had no runners on base in the 9th, and were moments from falling into 3-0 deficit when Lane Thomas, in a big drive, he almost cleared the fences, doubled against Yankees key reliever Luke Weaver, who had been perfect in 8 save chances since taking over the Yankees closer in September. Then Noel, without fanfare, and he hit the home run, flipped the bat, and just basically, did what he did. As he rounded the bases, Progressive Field fans danced on their seats in the aisles in a moment reminiscent of Rajai Davis' tying run over ALDS Chapman in the 8th inning of the 2016 World Series, Game 7. Because a lot of people already know the Indians have not won a World Series in 1948, so the memory's still going. Now, it was fitting that Davis, now working for Major League Baseball, was on hand to see Noel's homer that now belongs beside his in Cleveland history. We're a team that don't quit, Noel said, who came in 1 for 15 in the playoffs, said through an interpreter. We played 27 outs, so that's kind of what happened today. Fry joked Noel's homer was stunning and no surprise at all. It was amazement, he said, his reaction in Cleveland dugout. And he praised the Lord. He said God gave him the bat, whatever that means. Shades of Daniel Bouchard. It was such excitement, but when it was just like, oh yeah, of course, Johnsky hit a game-tying homer against a guy throwing 98 hits for a homer. Nobody does that. Like Volker said coming into the game, it's like, here you go, big boy, hit a 2-run homer, and he did. It's so cool. Fry's swing ended an instant fall classic. I think that's what we have here. Now, Bo Naylor are the Canadian single leading off the 10th against Clay Holmes and Brian Rochio sacrifice. Naylor took third on Stephen Kwan's comebacker before Fry, who hit a division series saving homer in Game 4 at Detroit, sent a 1-2 sinker into left field bleachers. Fry watched the ball sail in the stands before heading towards first. He was mobbed by teammates after crossing home plate as fans tossed drinks in the air while trying to process the emotional roller coaster they endured. I blacked out, Fry said. I remember like being halfway down the first base line, looking back at the dugout, and looking and saying, all right, I just have to make sure I touch all 4 bases and get home and celebrate. Ironically, when Stanton hit the go-ahead homer, a lot of the Cleveland fans thought he didn't touch first base, and that was a little bit of controversy as well. Now, Cleveland can tie the series with a win on Friday. Now, the Guardians still have a chance to win baseball's current longest World Series drought, stretching to 1948. Now, Judge homered in Game 2, but was batting just 143, 3 for 21 with 8 Ks this October before coming to the plate against Class A, the ALDS saves leader, MLB's most feared reliever. After falling behind 1-2 in the count, Judge, who was on the field taking batting practice 5 hours before the game, sat back and drove a 99-mile-per-hour cutter from Class A the opposite way to right, the ball just clearing the outfield wall. New York players poured out of the dugout to celebrate as Judge. The AL MVP, after hitting 58 homers in the regular season, circled the bases following his 15th postseason homer. Now, the Yankees, who had been held to 3 hits over the first 7 innings, were still exchanging hugs and high-fives when Stanton, with his weird swing, crushed a 1-2 slider from Class A, sending it over the center field wall. But even though they had the lead, the Yankees weren't taking anything for granted. I wouldn't say we're looking ahead to the World Series. We still have another game, even if it was 3-0. Now, Class A had been impeccable all season, and that's usually what happens in the postseason because a lot of pitchers either can only do in the regular season or in the playoffs. Now, in this campaign, he allowed just 5 runs and recorded 34 consecutive saves while dominating almost every time he took the mound. But he was tagged for a 3-run homer in the 9th by Kerry Carper in the ALDS before Judge and Stanton got him with a span of 8 pitches. Now, New York had 2 on with no outs in the 9th, but scored just 1 run on Gleyber Torres' sacrifice fly. Eli Morgan ended the inning by throwing a called third strike past Juan Soto. Now, rookie Cal Manzardo hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd for Cleveland. Now, the 30th postseason matchup between the Guardians and Yankees was another tightly contested matchup between 2 franchises who know each other well this time of year. This is their 7th meeting in the playoffs. Now, Cleveland finally got some length from starter as Matthew Boyd went 5, the most Voigt had permitted this postseason. The left-hander gave up 2 hits in the 2nd before retiring 10 straight, 7 on easy grounders. Now, Gavin Williams will start Game 4 for the Guardians. He has had a disappointing 3-ton season, which began with him on the injured list for several months with an elbow issue. Now, Yankees right-handed pitcher Louis Gill, who had 15-7 during the regular season, will start for the Bronx Bombers. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a chance, probably Sportsnet's going to repeat this. Again, this is old-time baseball. It reminds me a lot of the 70s and 80s, these big games. But it had everything, home runs and controversy and bad plays, good plays. Ramirez made a good play to first base. But the Stanton not touching first base, that could have been very controversial if Dowser was rejected. Just the angle, he was looking back in the dugout and celebrating. So, ladies and gentlemen, 41 years I've been covering baseball. I can generally tell you this game is going to be repeated on MLB or whatever. If you have a chance and didn't watch the game, watch the whole game because it was 2 very good teams, 2 very good staffs, 2 very good relievers, and unpredicted what happened. I didn't know anything about Noel, so you pronounce him Newell in New Brunswick, before this match, and let me tell you something, he's an instant hero. Shades of Kurt Bavacqua. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing with our MLB podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.